let me tell you guys about Homestuck.
During a recent panel, a lot of people were thinking that vivziepop was going to make a new show. Everyone was kind of suspecting they're going to revive one of their old concepts, and no one was suspecting they're going to help create a pilot to Homestuck, based on one of the most popular, successful, and infamous internet multimedia webcomics. As well as Spindlehorse is opening up a new branch office, Spindleroo, because it's in Australia. The trailer opens with a recreation of John Egbert's neighborhood, and presumably putting on a shirt. In the background we see some muddy photos of posters because the main character, John Egbert, is really into movies. Kind of bad ones, but kind of makes me wonder how exactly they're going to adapt that. Especially because a lot of them are kind of plot relevant, such as Con Air. Like this present. Because the present is the screen-used prop, the bunny from Con Air.
Happy birthday, bro! Did the beta come yet?
This is the voice of John's friend, Dave Strider. He'll be played by Adam MacArthur, who most people would know from JJK or Star Versus, which makes this edit from years ago really funny now. It's a little higher pitched than I would have imagined.
I think it arrived, but my dad probably has it. I've been trying to avoid him, as you can well imagine.
John is played by Toby Radiation Fox, who also did the music for the trailer. And yes, if you didn't know, that is in fact the exact same Toby Fox who made Undertale and Deltarune. He even made Undertale in the basement of Andrew Hussie, the creator of Homestuck, and he did a lot of music for the series. A lot you would recognize because Toby believes in recycling, especially Megalovania. We get this little pop-up of Dave, because a lot of Homestuck is told in very old internet text logs, kind of like the modern Discord chat. So this is a nice way to visualize that. Also, John's phone has a little keychain of the bunny, and on the back is his Slimer logo. Straight out from the first couple pages of Homestuck, John is looking out for his parent that he wants to avoid because he's kind of overbearing. This one photo is straight from a comic. I don't know if it's stock photo or if it's Andrew Hussie.
John, you're not wearing one of your silly disguises, are you?
This is John's friend Rose Lalonde. In the back we see drawings straight from the comics, but we can't see her violin. And her laptop is covered in horror terrors because she's very into Lovecraftian stuff. Her head looks very round, her hair should be a little back, if you know what I mean. She's played by Cameron Lynn, who's been in a lot of things. I know it's a different woman, but she kind of sounds like Goth Webby.
From DuckTales, and here are my 30 things! Hang gliding! Training for any situation!
We don't get to hear a lot from her in the trailer. It kind of fits. I guess most people are just so used to fan casting her as She-Go from Kim Possible. John's disguise is straight from the comics, as well as Rose seeing the meteor, the weather messing with her Wi-Fi, and even the mausoleum for her pet cat Jasper. This is John's dad. He doesn't have a voice credit, so I don't know if he's going to actually say something in the pilot. The Slimer drawing on the fridge is straight from the comic, but instead of the broom being live-action pixelated, it's actually drawn. And we can even see a box of Betty Crocker cake mix, which is... It's going to sound weird if you don't know anything about Homestuck, but this is actually incredibly important. Which makes me think, how exactly are they going to adapt this? Are they going to spell it a little weird? Or even change the first name, because the name Crocker is also incredibly important for later. Dad wants to give John a birthday cake, but John does not want the cake, which leads to conflict. Which, given the rest of the trailer, is going to lead to a big over-the-top anime action scene.
Look in the sky, numbnuts!
So I think Dave actually finds out about the meteors earlier than in the comics. I don't want to give away too much if you don't know about Homestuck. Dad gave John a Harlequin. It kind of looks animated already, but I think this is just a way to visualize John scared by it. Strife is the attack thing. It's actually kind of fun showing the items appear in the deck. This is probably the craziest shot in the trailer, revealing Karkat, one of the aliens from Homestuck called Troll, who are probably, if not actually, the only thing most people know about Homestuck. The foul-mouthed gray-skinned aliens with candy corn horns that have zodiac symbols on their shirts. We don't hear him speak in the trailer, but he's going to be played by Brandon Windwork, which is the guy in the cast I know the least about. If you're going to cast an anime voice actor, they might as well have just went with Casey Mongillo, because, he actually is a big Homestuck fan. He has Crab Dad, who is a ghost helper thing, not revealing too much about Homestuck. He looks out to the two kinda three moons of Alternia, and his exact panel comes from the comics. We see this human, Jade, the best human, in a temple, which is going to be very important. And before someone makes some weird, super overthinking theory about the fact she has a lot of colorful things on her fingers, those are rubber bands to help her remember things. Jade Harley will be played by Kalina O'Shanagany, who's been in a few things I think most people will recognize. During the fight between Dad and John, we see some smoke pellets and a book. This is actually how the fight's going to end.
The cake forces Kanako Sasuke's text out of your Sylladex.
Sasuke, you beautiful bastard!
Now's your chance. Now that Dad is busy plactating the smoke detector, you can safely sneak away. You snag your dad's PDA, and maybe later you'll switch the background image to something hilarious as a prank.
We see John run through a wall, and it's his sprite. And there's two already. Who the hell is this douchebag, and how's he see us? Well, this is taken from the comics, and yes, he has a Dark Angel shirt. This is Andrew Hussie, the creator of Homestuck, and he is returning for the show, as well as Sky Henwood, who is one of vivziepop's best friends and has worked on a few things for her. For the first time, we actually see a copy of the game, Scrub, in, the case. The back has photo of a house and salamanders, which will be very important for John, as well as a checkered field. Spur Beta, that's the Homestuck logo, E for everybody. SN is for Skynet. Even the Spindaroo logo has a Homestuck logo. Viv is only going to be the executive producer, so if anyone gets complainy about how the kids say fuck, well, that's just the comic. Richard Hortovitz is going to be the voice director, and honestly I wouldn't mind if a couple of Viv's regulars played a few characters later. This trailer has some promise to it. It's clearly trying to adapt the first 3 acts to Homestuck, while also sneaking in a couple stuff from later on. Sort of like the Netflix A Series of Unfortunate Events, the series could be a decent way to abridge and kind of fix some stuff from Homestuck. It can be pretty hard to get into Homestuck, it's very steep. There's a lot of reading and funny ways to spell stuff. So I feel like this is kind of the perfect way to introduce new people to it. And I feel like Spindlehorse is kind of the perfect studio to actually adapt Homestuck because the Helvaverse is very similar to how Homestuck is. Being a very over-the-top series while still being very lore-heavy, with a dedicated fandom that's very protective and kind of weird, and very gay, and it's kind of popular to hate. So I'm cautiously optimistic about Homestuck's animated future. But let me know in the comments below if you're excited, you think this is weird, or if you're an Undertale fan who got lost. Either way, you should think about hitting the like button and subscribing.
Well, because fun fact, I've actually never read it. Personally. But he reached out and it was really cool. I was like, because I grew up, guys, I've been in this space. I've been on the internet. I know what it is. I have ADHD and I just couldn't, I was like, how do you understand? I can't, my brain is just too small for this. But what I loved about it was, I saw it. I saw it everywhere. I saw the trolls, I saw the art, I saw all that stuff. So I really liked it. But when he reached out, it was I was like, well, this is cool. And a lot of people, so I brought it up in passing. I was like, oh yeah, I think I just got an email from Andrew Hussie.
I was like, who?
And you were like, what?
I was like, put me in a room with this man now, please.
And the passion that Sky has for Homestuck is true and honest. And I was like, you know what? This is a no-brainer. And we should absolutely be taking this